Hello, welcome back. Today I'm out at the Riverside Cemetery in Denver, Colorado. We're going to be visiting the unmarked grave of Nicholas Trainor. He was a Denver mint bandit found frozen to death in the Getaway car. So I'm going to tell you about his story as we go look for his grave. On December 18th, 1922, 4 men in a black Buick pulled up beside a Federal Reserve truck outside the U.S. Mint in Denver, just as the guards finished loading $200,000. 3 men jumped out of the car, leaving the getaway driver behind the wheel. In a well-orchestrated moves, one bandit rushed to the rear of the Federal Reserve truck, firing at and fatally wounding a guard, while a second bandit smashed open the truck window. As he lifted out the money, the others peppered the mint building with sawed-off shotguns. With alarm bells clanging, mint employees grabbed rifles and returned fire from the windows. A 90-second gun battle ensued. Bullets sprayed West Colfax, nearby buildings, and the side of the mint. The shootout lasted only about 90 seconds before the getaway driver took off, ran another vehicle into a fire hydrant, and sped away east on Colfax Avenue with an estimated $200,000 in $5 bills. The entire event was over in 5 minutes. Charles T. Litton, who died in the shootout, is the only Federal Reserve Guard to lose his life during a bank robbery. Hailed by many as the wildest gun battle in Denver history, the robbery was the first successful mint holdup in U.S. history and the largest robbery in Denver. In the aftermath of the robbery, witnesses came forward to help investigators with descriptions and drawings of the thieves, and the number of robbers involved went from 4 to 7. Roads in and out of Denver were shut down. The gang was traced first to Omaha, then Chicago, and finally St. Paul before the police lost them. About a month after the robbery, investigators discovered the getaway car in an old garage on Gilpin Street in Denver. Inside the car was a frozen body, identified through fingerprints as Nicholas Jimmy Trainor, aka James Sloan. It was determined that Trainor had been mortally wounded during the robbery and his body left behind as the rest of the gang escaped. Once Trainor was identified, police suspected that Harvey Bailey, a known associate of Trainor's, was likely to have been involved in the robbery. In spite of offering rewards of more than $10,000, none of the other robbers were positively identified. The discovery of the getaway car led investigators to other leads in the case, including a trunk filled with firearms, ammunition, photographs, and letters. Secret Service agents recovered about $80,000 of the stolen mint money in a Minnesota hideout, along with $73,000 in negotiable bonds from an Ohio robbery. Since Trainor and Bailey were both considered suspects in that Ohio heist, which predated the Denver robbery, police became further convinced of Bailey's involvement in the mint robbery. It wasn't until 1934, 12 years later, that the robbers were identified. Denver Police Captain James Clark stated that 5 men and 2 women colluded in the robbery. He also disclosed that only 2 were still alive, and both were serving life terms in the Midwest for other crimes. The rest of the gang had died violently. According to the police, Harvey Bailey had driven the car and was serving a life sentence in Alcatraz for the kidnapping of an Oklahoma City millionaire. James Clark was serving a life sentence in the Indiana State Penitentiary for bank robbery. Other gang members, Harold Burns and Frank McFarland, the Memphis Kid, were dead. Nicholas Trainor, aka James Sloan, had been found dead in the Getaway car shortly after the robbery, and the bullet-ridden body of his common-law wife, Florence Thompson, was found in 1927. Harold Burns' wife, Margaret, was found shot and burned in 1932. The case of the Denver Mint robbery was considered closed without a single person ever charged in connection with the theft. In June of 1950, one of the Mint robbers, James Clark, was pardoned from the Indiana State Penitentiary. He moved to a small farm in Kansas near his family and granted an interview with Denver Post writer Wayne Phillips. In the interview, Clark said that there were actually 3 living members of the Mint robbery. The third had been in prison with him in Indiana. He said, "One of them is still up there where I was. If they found me, they ought to be able to find him." Alright, so let's go try to find his unmarked grave here. Now, the cemetery told me, I believe I found the headstones where he's by, so that always helps as a marker. So it says he is like 3 spaces north of this William Bernard Smoot. So we'll go north here, and then if we find Charles Kelly, Nicholas is about, she said, 1 space east of Charles Kelly, so Nicholas should be right about here in this area then. Yes, a very interesting story of the Denver Mint robbery here. And yes, Nicholas Trainor, he was found frozen to death in the Getaway car. So, guess rest in peace, Nicholas. I don't know if it was worth it, but it sounded like all the other robbers were already serving life sentences in jail or also died. Hope you enjoyed that very windy video and getting to see the unmarked grave of Nicholas Trainor, the Denver Mint bandit found frozen to death in the Getaway car. Please like and subscribe for some more videos, and I'll see you at the next grave. Thanks.